What is up, YouTube? That's here. I'm back playing more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet VGC 2023 content, and today we are taking a look at Series 2 content. This team is submitted to me on Patreon by Riley. If you guys want to submit your teams made for Series 2 for team fixing, think about checking out the official team submission post. It's up right now. You can submit a team right now. We're working on 1 or 2 teams every single day, making them into videos, doing all the team fixings, using them in games, using the fixed team in games, which we're going to be doing today as well. All I ask is that you submit a rental code. You can do VGC Series 2, you can do Battle Stadium Series 2, which is 3v3 singles, or even Smogon 6v6 singles. I will take a look and use and fix those teams as well. Today's team, the first team posted by Riley. It says, my son team for Series 2 and am really looking for help min-maxing EVs, but also any advice would be useful. They made a rental code, they made a poke paste. I even said, awesome, I'll use this today, which I'm doing right now. So if you guys have a team you want to submit for team fixing, think about checking out the Patreon. Even the lowest tier, the $2 tier, gets access to this sort of stuff, as well as a bunch of other stuff we're going to talk about a little bit later on in the video. I have another thing I want to talk about too, and that's I made a new song. I've been making music. I've been making a brand new song every month, one song at least a month since like September. And this is my newest song. It's called Be Sad or Don't Be Sad. And it's just an instrumental song. It's a song that I've had that I've wanted to get put on platforms for a while. There's links to the Spotify. There's links to the SoundCloud, links to the Bandcamp, links to all the other stuff like that in the description. Please, please give the song a listen. I think realistically, I've been doing music stuff for a while on YouTube, and I know a lot of you guys probably don't really like the stuff that I make, but I feel like this song, I'm really like, solidifying, I think, what my sort of genre is, which is like that, like, chill, relax, acoustic vibe that I'm going for. So please listen to it. Please listen to it and let me know what you think. And again, any saves or follows on the band pages would also really help me out if you guys use any of those platforms. So without further ado, let's get back to this team. And I really like what this team's doing. They're going to be using the Torkoal here, setting the Drought to activate photosynthesis on multiple mons. Roaring Moon, Fluttermane, Great Tusk. I think this is the perfect team to take a look at because it's already a really good team. If you're looking for a team that you can use on like casual ladder or link battle mode to test for Series 2, this is a great squad. It actually has a really good playstyle. It has great speed control, it has great weather control, and really good trick room options as well. So think about trying this team. But we're going to try this team in a few games, and I'm going to give my own feedback. I really think that realistically, maybe the Great Tusk and the Roaring Moon clash a little bit, so you might want to replace one of those mons, but I do think this is a very well-made team, and I can't wait to play in some games. So let's go right into them. Wish me luck. Here we go. So our first game, we already have someone testing for Series 2. They have the, I think it's Iron Bundle, the Delibird. I also really like to see the Azumarill. Little known fact, like a Choice Band Adamant, huge power Azumarill Aquajet can OHKO Fluttermane. So that's something we definitely have to watch out for. Maybe like switch in Torkoal to mitigate that damage a little bit. I do think that Fluttermane's still a pretty good mon. I think that Garchomp is also pretty good. So is Dragapult. Dragapult's a great check to Fluttermane in some situations. So I think there's reasons to keep it around. Let's actually just check out a couple stats here. Remember, photosynthesis boosts your stat that's the highest, right? So photosynthesis boosts your stats that's the highest, either 1.3 in offensive stats or 1.5 in speed. So you can see, even though this guy's a jolly nature, we're still getting boost to attack, which we actually need speed boost right now. So we're going to be probably going like Torkoal Fluttermane, pivoting in something else. I think that's probably the best play, and then maybe bringing like Roaring Moon in the back. That's what I'm thinking about doing for this first game. So let's lock this stuff in. So we're going to go Torkoal. Not Roaring Moon. We're going to bring Roaring Moon in the back. Fluttermane. And then bring probably this and this in the back. This is probably the best play. I might need to bring Lilligant just to deal with Meowscarada, but I think we're probably fine. Let's just lock this in. A lot of people think they don't really have like that much time in the team preview, but you just have to get comfortable with using your like full allotted amount of time. I know it's something that sounds easy on paper, but like try and take as much time as possible to understand everything about your opponent's team before the game even starts. You're going to be in a great spot. So let's see what they want to lead with. We're really trying to check the Pult here. So same thing goes for Iron Bundle. It's a great check here. Remember, the Torkoal activates our photosynthesis. It gives us that speed boost. Oh, it's a shiny. Cool. So Shelby's Drought. Torkoal named Shelby. I wonder what the context is there. Photosynthesis is going to give me that speed boost so we can go for the big Dazzling Glooms here. I really like this. And it looks like they didn't boost our energy. I wonder what item they are then. We could probably leave this Torkoal in, if I'm being completely honest. We wouldn't click Eruption. We'd probably just click like Earth Power. I don't think there's a reason to switch and lose the tempo. Because we also think they might be going for like an Icy Wind or something. We don't want to switch in the Roaring Moon on that. So I think what I'm going to do, we Fire Terror, it's kind of useless. Torkoal's not that great in this situation, in my opinion. I guess I'll just Heat Wave to be able to make sure we can finish off the Iron Bundle, and we'll just go for a big Dazzling Gleam here. I think we have Dark Terror, which isn't going to be super useful, and we should be fine in this situation. Dazzling Gleam is going to be great damage for Garchomp. It's not going to get the KO. It almost gets the KO, and remember, we have great moves in the back. I really wish we had a little bit of AoE on the Roaring Moon. I really wish Roaring Moon had like Earthquake or Rock Slide just to be able to finish off things like this Garchomp. So that's going to be some changes I'm going to be making a little bit later. Anything that's coming in here, this mon's going to be switching in on a big Heat Wave. I don't know if Garchomp EQ takes us out. Raichu on this is not going to be a happy Raichu camper. Crunch, it's neutral damage. There's nothing really wrong with Crunch on Garchomp. You don't see it that often, but that's a lot of damage on that Raichu. And we still have the pin. We get the burn out of the Raichu that we don't even need. And this is great. They do have a Fake Out up, so they can probably Fake Out our Torkoal if they want. But I also wanted to say, this is something that's like a little bit advanced here. You know, you can see I talked about using the ultimate amount of time in the team preview. And I didn't want to go for a Protect with Torkoal. I didn't want to go for any sort of weird move with the Flutter Mane. I wanted to deliberately use the moves that I wanted to use because they had the potential of switching in an Encore Mon. Anytime your opponent has a Mon that can use the Encore move, you should always deliberately, especially on the first turn of the game, use the moves you would not mind being locked into. So instead of going for like Shadow Balls or Protects or doing anything like that, I knew that I wanted to use Dazzling Gleam. I knew I wanted to use Dazzling Gleam multiple turns in a row, so it was the right play to use Dazzling Gleam so Raichu couldn't come out and lock us into a Dazzling Gleam. I mean, you may be thinking like, how could they do that? They could be Scarfed, they could be so many different ways, they could be Quick Claw Encore. You just don't want to fall for that stuff. In this situation though, we're going to be absolutely fine going for another Dazzling Gleam. See, we're comfortable with using all of our time. And we're just going to pivot out here to then regain a board pin with the Roaring Moon. And this should be absolutely fine. Worst case scenario, we have to eat a Fake Out there. Dazzling Gleam should be able to get the double KO. Photosynthesis is pretty good. Pretty good. You can already see this team, even though there are a few things that need to be optimized, this team is still absolutely fine for the format. Fluttermane's just kind of a really good mon. Another shiny. That's actually such a cool shiny. I've never even seen it. So Photosynthesis can give us attack boost. And again, they can totally go for Fake Out, but the Dazzling Gleam should be enough to rinse and repeat these guys off the board. Last mon shouldn't be that big of a deal. We also have the potential to switch in Torkoal to get one of our mons out of a pin. We haven't Terastallized yet. We're just in a really, really good spot in this first game. So let's see. And the Life Orb Fluttermane is actually like really, really surprising. I don't think we need Life Orb per se, but like, it's a good mon. Meowscarada versus these two, maybe not the best. I will say, though, that this is another example of a good Pokemon that I think Meowscarada is actually #1 in usage stats right now. Yeah, if we actually take a look like Pikalytics, you can see that Meowscarada is numero uno for Series 1. It's probably going to still be very, very good in Series 2, but that's another reason why you probably would like to go. You want to still keep the Jolly on the Roaring Moon, but you want to take just a little bit out of attack to be able to outspeed those things. Doesn't really matter what we want here, what we do here. I think we're just going to go for the Acrobatics, even though we haven't used our item yet, just because it's standard damage. And we already know that we outspeed here, so we're absolutely fine. So let's see if this is Sash. Realistically, the right play for them would have been a run there to preserve the information of Sash in case we fight them again on the ladder. But we will take those wins all the way to the bank. I've already seen a bunch of the cool things this team can do. And I've already seen a few things that we can improve on in the team building section. So you guys, if you guys are liking this video, if you guys are liking this video, you want to see more stuff like this, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you're excited for Series 2. Let's go into another game. Okay, this is really, really funny. It's the same exact guy, right? It's the same exact guy. Now, remember what I said. He should have ran to preserve information. We know that that's not Sash on Meowscarada. We also know that this guy's going to be doing absolutely everything in their power to check our Fluttermane. So, what do we want to do to deal with that? The Murkrow has Sunny Day. I think I might go Murkrow. Murkrow's just so much more better tempo than Torkoal, because we can just keep Murkrow on the board and do stuff. We're probably either going to go with a Tailwind or just a Sunny Day right off the bat, right here. And then we don't even need the Torkoal. So we're optimizing, they're optimizing, but I think we'll be able to probably end up ahead. I think the only issue with Murkrow is the fact that Murkrow does not have... We're gonna get Fake Outed to stop Sunny Day. That's what I mean to say. I think instead of the Great Tusk in the back, I'm gonna be bringing the Torkoal. Remember, we still need to bring the Torkoal to make it so they can't go for like a Choice Band Aqua Jet to OHKO our Fluttermane. So we have to do this. Torkoal's actually still good in some situations. It's a great check to things like Meowscarada. It's a great check to Iron Bundle. Torkoal's going to be an amazing Pokemon in this format. And if we do see that Raichu with a Fake Out pin on the front, we can just hard switch in the Torkoal and do the exact same thing with the Flutter Mane. We might also want to just switch out Flutter Mane, use it as bait. There's so many cool things. Like, I'm not really a big best of 3 guy on the channel, but I've done really well at best of 3 events. I'm such a bully in best of 3 after I win game 1. Like, I can wrap you right around my finger. Like, I can dangle this Flutter Mane right in front of you. Like, you want to hit this? I know you want to hit this. I know you probably want to go like Sucker Punch and all those other things into it. And I can just switch it out. I can switch it into Torkoal. I can go for foul plays. I could do all these things. We don't really know enough about their team yet. We don't need to haze. I don't think. We will Sunny Day this first turn. It's going to be 2 reasons why we want a Sunny Day. We want a Sunny Day because it cuts the damage from Aqua Jet, our pranksters, faster than their Aqua Jet +1. So we would be able to cut that. And also, that Pult technically does outspeed our Flutter Mane, and we don't want to just have ourselves get lost at the end. So we're going to go Sunny Day here. I also think what we're going to do is we're going to go Dark Terra here, just so we don't take as much damage from ghost attacks or a Pult Sucker Punch. So it's twofold here. Worst case scenario in this situation, that Azumarill belly drums, but we have haze on Murkrow, so we're absolutely fine. So Terastalize here. But you see what I mean? Like, talking about how to like play a best of 3 situation. You know, we won game 1 without really showing that much. In game 2, it looks like we're doing very similar, the same things, but we're giving you just enough of an option to make you think that you might be able to play the game at the right speed tempo. So this is going to activate our Photosynthesis. It's going to let our Flutter Mane outspeed their Pult unless they're Scarfed, and even if they were Scarfed or something weird, we change to a Dark Terror in case something was wrong. They might be Sashed, who really knows. We take those wins there on the Dragapult. That Azumarill could technically go for a player fin of our slot, and that'd be very weird, but like, it'd be weird, I would say. Player, oh my gosh, into the Murkrow, absolutely fine. Totally fine. That looks like it's not, well, I don't know about the Azumarill. I mean, it's super effective, and we have an Eviolite, but it's hard to say. They wouldn't have been going for that play into our Flutter Mane, though, I don't think. It would have been neutral damage, but there's the Iron Bundle. I think we're absolutely fine here. We can double dip and go for like a foul play into the Azumarill just to get it off the board. I think it's the right place. So we're going to double dip here, basically just ignore the Iron Bundle. And yeah, we're in a great spot. In an absolutely amazing spot. They can go Terastalize as well, but I don't think it's really going to matter that much. Hope it's not Citrus on the Azumarill. Like, I really hope that it's not, but, you know, it's a common item on those guys. Ice Beam. Go nuts. Murkrow down for the count. We are going to maybe have to eat this Play Rough. Survey says, can you miss? Can you miss? Oh, dude, we hang on by a literal thread. We take those. So now we are within range for Sunny Day. This is where I was talking about just a little bit. It would have been so nice to see, what is it? It would have been so nice to see, like, Earthquake on this guy. We're going to have to switch in the Torkoal here, and we're just going to go for, like, I think it's still the right play to save the, what is it? I think it's the right play to save the Mischievous. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to click the Eruption because we know we'll get the KO here. And we're going to hard switch in this guy. And I think that's probably the play. Because we need to save this thing to one-shot the Masquerade on the back. We already know that it can one-shot the Masquerade, or at least lock the Masquerade and attack in that slot where either our Torkoal or our Bird wins the game. So this is going to be absolutely fine. Even if they double up into the Torkoal slot, we should still have enough damage to KO with Eruption. Even if it's like a really low HP one. There's the Aqua Jet. So there's absolutely... Oh, they Aqua Jetted there. Weird. I don't know why they would Aqua Jet that. Ice Beam into that slot's absolutely fine. Even if you lose it, it's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. And the big, massive Eruption goes off. Cool. Cool. So Iron Bundle goes down. Azumarill goes down. They already lost their Pult, and we know their Masquerade is not Sashed because we already played them in the last game. So pretty good stuff. You know, realistically, it might not have been a bad idea just to fodder the Mischievous, because like we would have been able to check the Masquerade with this as well and brought this guy in at full health, but it is what it is. There's the Masquerade, just like I was talking about. Pretty obvious bring there. And we just win. Click the Eruption. And again, I wish that we had a speed boost here. It would be a lot easier to make this Pokemon work. But there's not that much they can do about it. And they can still Terastalize, I guess. But, you know, there's not that much they can do. We're going to be in a great spot here. Oh, there's a Terastalize. You know, one good thing about Terastalize as a mechanic. One really good thing is every single time it happens, I can just take a sip of my coffee. Going for the double dip here on the grass. They can probably KO the Roaring Moon here, but oh, so they're adamant. Cool. We don't get the KO because we didn't activate our acrobatics yet, but we're gonna be absolutely fine. Who are you hitting, buddy? You want into Torkoal? That's not enough. Like Torkoal dummy thick. Torkoal's so thick, and replies back with a massive Eruption, giving me the wins. So in the next game, we're going to try and play somebody different. Maybe I'll have to take a little bit of a break. There's not that many people playing Series 2, and everyone's probably wondering, how are you playing Series 2 anyways? We're on casual battle right now because that's the only way to actually test for Series 2 other than using like link battle mode. So for everyone's like, how is he playing Series 2? How is he playing Series 2? That's how you're testing for Series 2 early, but you can tell that team is actually made for Series 2. It uses Iron Bundle, it uses really good metamons, and you know, we'll just have to wait and find somebody else to play against in the next game. Okay, last game, we got something a little bit different. I love the tail room. You have a little bit of Trick Room with, like, Fargiraffe, Sylveon, Amoonguss, and then you have a little bit of Tailwind with, like, Murkrow, Garchomp, Goldango. Really, really good. Sylveon can also be used in Tailwind. That's a great team. Like, I love everything about that. I'm thinking, though, Torkoal is a good bring if they are going to go with the Trick Room, so you can just save the Torkoal in the back. You can even just lead Torkoal realistically and use it to activate, the Flutter Mane again. I think this is really good. You know, I didn't mean to feature Flutter Mane this much. I don't think it's like, everyone's like really afraid of Flutter Mane. They're like thinking it's going to dominate the meta. I don't think that's going to be the case, but like in situations where people just keep bringing like Dragons, Darks, and Ghost types, like Flutter Mane's a really, really good mon. So these two are great together. I think realistically that I don't think we need Tailwind because we're going to have Speed Boost, but like maybe we do. And if that's the case, like you want to go like this. We could also bring like really, really aggressive play and go like this and go like just Imprison here and just go for like big damage with this guy. There's nothing really wrong with that. I'll try it. No, I think the right play is the Murkrow. And then you bring this. And then you bring... I know that we should be bringing the Roaring Moon, but we don't really have that many good coverage moves for Sylveon. So again, we're completely safe using all of our time. I want you guys to really, really try, especially in these newer formats, to use as much time in the team preview as possible to understand what their team could be doing. Even if you're not like recording or anything like that, just talk yourself through like why you're actually picking the mons. You know, convince yourself that you're using the right mons, right? So we go both these guys. We do outspeed that Goldango. So what we can do is just go Tailwind trade and then straight up into a Shadow Ball and hopefully get the KO on that Goldango. If they could Terra Steel and then make it rain, that would do a lot. And they'd be able to OHKO us here. But then we'd be able to bring out something else that's good and probably be fine. I think we brought the Great Tusk as well, so we're probably okay. But that would be the right play. This would force them to Terra here. And no Terra. We should be able to OHKO the Goldango here unless it's Sashed or... like Cassie Berry or whatever berry cuts dark attacks. Cool, and for everyone here, they couldn't be like, I guess they could also be like a Scarf set too. Their Murkrow also can't taunt our Murkrow because Murkrow is a dark type, and dark types are immune to Prankster taunt, so we're super safe there. And now that we traded Tailwinds, we're in an absolutely amazing spot. Dazzling Gleam can dumpster that Murkrow. It can probably hit the Garchomp they're going to be bringing here. We're going to double into the Garchomp with a foul play. You see the Garchomp right there. It's almost like a play of the game. Like, even in these newer formats, people are just like, how do you just know everything? And it's like, I've been doing this a long time, you know? What else would they be bringing out? Sylveon? Sylveon's okay. We have good pivots for that. Like, but Sylveon, they wouldn't have Tailwind at first turn if they had Sylveon, right? They would have probably, like, it's obvious that was Garchomp from the... Basically, we're able to understand their mons were probably Garchomp, and I'm thinking Amoonguss, based off of the first turn Tailwind. The plan was probably for them to go for like a big Make It Rain, and then pivot out the Goldango for the Amoonguss to then re-rinse the Make It Rain, lose the Murkrow, repin with Garchomp, and, you know, continue from there. So, anyways, just to finish this up, we have big Dazzling Gleam. It's going to be able to do damage to both these guys, and if the Garchomp does go like Ground Terra, oh, they just Rage Quit. Cool. Hey, you know what? Another reason why you want to take as much time as humanly possible. That guy was just salty. I wasn't clicking my moves fast enough because I was using the full timer. And you just Rage Quit. Sometimes you get those free wins. We definitely take those. But since that one was a short one, we're going to go into one more game. And maybe we'll try and use something a little bit different in this one. Espathra, Gargarnacle, and Lurantis. Very, very cool team. I think we're definitely going to be bringing the Flutter Mane again. Just because we want to imprison that Trick Room if they have it. And I do think that anytime you see the Murkrows or any sort of like dynamic speed control mon, you'd like to be trading with those. So like Murkrow and Flutter Mane are really, really good here. I can trade Tailwinds if we have to. Not that I think they're going to. I guess I don't have to trade Tailwinds. Murkrow's not that great here. Our Murkrow set, for those wondering again, is something like Sunny Day. We can show it right here. It's Sunny Day, Foul Play, Haze, Tailwind. I don't really think we need that. Maybe we just... let's see. I want another Mon that was like a big dive buddy. And I'm not really that afraid if they want to go Tailwind. I don't even think we need Torkoal. I think I'll bring Torkoal in the back just to be a good anchor versus like the Lurantis and the Mimikyu. But I don't think we need to lead with it. And so realistically, we could lead with like any of these. We could lead with Great Tusk or the Roaring Moon. It's hard to say exactly which one's better. We'll lead with the Roaring Moon and the Flutter Mane. Bring the Torkoal in the back. And I think we're going to bring the Devastator. So we're going to go all aggro on this one. We're going to bring 3 Paradox Mons and 1 Weather Setter to activate them. So pretty aggro lead here, but I think we're going to be doing this correctly. I don't think we necessarily need to be able to bring Murkrow here. I doubt that they're going like Espathra. Espathra really, really struggles with Murkrow. Not just because it's a Psychic type versus Dark, but you can just haze away all the speed boosts. So you usually don't want to bring that. And so one of the reasons why you do want to bring, Flutter Mane here is so you can just imprison the Trick Room, which is a pretty standard play, I would say here. This is pretty standard, is to imprison this Trick Room. We can go Dazzling and break it and then try and Oko the Mimikyu, but I think Imprison's just fine. You get the big Imprison up because like they need Trick Room to do something with this team. And realistically, these are all pretty not great. I don't think we really need Acrobatics here. This is where a Booster Energy would be very, very good because you'll also be able to activate your Acrobatics. We don't really need Jaw Lock. Skill Shot's not that great, I guess. Like, we just go for a stab Jaw Lock into the slot, or like a... this is technically stronger, but like not really. So I guess we'll do it, but we'll figure it out. And I understand the whole point of the team is to like Scale Shot, and then use your White Herb, and then you have big Acrobatics. Like, I understand that, but we need to do as much damage as possible. We need to see if that's Citrus. Looks like it's not. Charm. Side Charm. Wow. And the Leech Life. Ow. That hurt. That's really not great for us. So, we have the Imprison up. They got a crit there. Good play from our opponent. Huge outplay. Humongous outplay. Just ignored our Flutter Mane. Ignored, like, the best Pokemon in the format. Hey, what are you going to do? That's a good outplay. Side Charm. We should be able to double into it. I think we definitely just bring this guy out. This guy will still outspeed. Ice Spinner plus the Dazzling should be enough to KO it. Oh, that looks sick. I haven't seen this thing shiny. So yeah, Dazzling is going to also break the Mimikyu Disguise. I kind of want to go for like a Terrastalize here, just so we don't get KO'd by a Shadow Sneak or like anything like a Shadow Claw. So we're going to go for the big Dazzling here. And Headlong Rush isn't as effective. This is neutral. This would be a stab 180. So this is actually stronger. This is stronger to use close combat, so we're going to use close combat. Stab moves are just better than super effective moves a lot of the time. There's no terrain up, so we don't have to do anything weird. But, yeah, we want to get the Lurantis off the board. The Lurantis already showed that it wasn't super invested in defense, but we do need to get off the board. I expect this Dazzling to do about 30% tops. I think that they're vested. If I had to guess, they're vested. So we need to do as much damage as humanly possible. Dazzling does good damage here, breaks the Mimikyu Disguise. That's about the 30-35%. You can see how Ice Spinner might not get that KO, but like we'll probably get the KO with a close combat in this situation. Here we go. Big damage. We do get the KO. We could actually run that through the damage calculator if we wanted to, but I'm pretty sure we definitely needed to use close combat there. So Lurantis goes down. Let's see what the Mimikyu's doing. Remember, it can't Trick Room because we have the Prison up. Shadow Claw into our Darkmon. Very, very good. Absolutely amazing for us. Now, they can mix it up and go for a Play Rough next time, but, like, there's not going to be a next time. Espathra pops out, and now we have a Dark type, and we're in such a good spot. We could Shadow Ball either of those things. I think it's probably the right play to just get the Mimikyu off the board since we know that it's a check for us, so we're just going to Shadow Ball into that slot. And realistically, there's nothing we need to use our Donphan for anymore. Like, if they want to hit that slot, that's fine. I guess Headlong Rush might just KO that Mimikyu, but I don't want to risk it. We're going to follow the Donphan if they want to go for like a Lumina Crash into it. And we're going to see what they're Terrastalizing into. Okay. And it's Espathra into... Is that normal? Hey, they're doing that to block our Shadow Ball. Great tech. I'm using Headlong Rush, though, so I don't know if that's going to work out in the long run. So Shadow Ball's going to be able to take that Mimikyu off the board. Hopefully they're... Hopefully they were relying on the Mimikyu to take out our Flutter Mane, or... Well, we'll see what happens. It doesn't really matter who they hit. We've gotten an advantage, and we're just trading effectively at this point. Torkoal's still really, really good in the back. We do outspeed them before they get the speed boost up. They lose their safety goggles. Remember, that would have KO'd them before. And they go right in the Lumina Crash here. They get the KO. That's with a vest. It's just that we had the stat drop from the close combat. So that's absolutely fine. That's actually a good amount of damage to deal to them. And just come with Torkoal. Torkoal should be able to be a really, really good mon here. This is going to give us a speed boost, activating our photosynthesis. And depending what their last mon is, I think we're absolutely fine. Bulk, maybe? Oh, Gargarnacle. Okay. Gargarnacle's a little bit not great. I wish we had like a Protect here. We're going to go for the... we are going to go for a Dazzling Gleam, and if they Wide Guard us, that's really not great. And realistically, we want to just go for an Earth Power into that slot. Is this Torkoal full special attack? It is full special attack, so you can see it right here. I think I'm going to double into the Espathra with this. It can Protect, it's not imprisoned, but like, let's see if this is the right play. Dazzling Gleam, because this would just get redirected into the... Yeah, this would just get redirected into the Gargarnacle anyways if they didn't Protect. So we take that out. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Espathra going down for the count. And we do actually, I think we outspeed this Gargarnacle because we're not speed reduced. Maybe. Never lucky. Anyways, we're using Earth Power here, which is super effective, so we're absolutely fine. Yeah, that was their one big turn to be able to like actually do something weird, like go for a Protect Bait or something. It's going to do way too much damage to them. Like, way too much. You can Salt Cure Kill till the cows come home. We are in a great spot. Now, I will say the last thing is you do not want to use... look at this guy. He has a... You can't see his ability here, but his ability makes it so it takes less damage from Ghost Moves. So you don't want to Shadow Ball. You just want to use another Dazzling Gleam to get the KO. And the way it works is if you wanted to Wide Guard to stop the D-Gleam, you know, even if it was a single target move like this, because it's an AoE move, you could still block it with the Wide Guard, but that's why we're just going in Earth Powers here. So even if they Wide Guard, we still get the win. And we take the win. A little bit closer. That was really, really cool with the Side Charm Mimikyu. I really thought they were going to go, like, Protect, Trick Room, and then do something like a Side Charm. That's kind of what I was thinking. But, you know, we still take those wins. And you can see, like, the slight situations in which, like, this team would have so many more chances to win. Like, let's go take a look at the actual team. Like, if this guy was just a booster energy, we would immediately get to use our item, and then we would immediately activate the acrobatics and get KOs. If this thing had like a little bit different EV spread, it'd be able to go for a little bit different moveset. The Torkoal can be changed up a little bit. We didn't bring Lilligant once. Murko's pretty good, but you can see like the slight changes that this team might need to make to be able to be brought to the next level. So that's what we're going to look at now. We're going to take a look at the team building section before we actually fix the team, and then we're going to use it in a few more games on Showdown. So this is your reminder to like the video. If you've already been watching this far and you like learning about Series 2, let me know in the comments, and let's go hop into the team building part. Here we go. So I just want to say, before we actually get into fixing this team's great. If you want to use this team to test for Series 2, it totally works. It's very good at using Flutter Mane. It has a little bit of Torkoal Lilligant if you want it. Roaring Moon's good. Great Tusk and Roaring Moon I feel are a little bit redundant, but like, you know, I'd rather use the Roaring Moon in almost every situation, but the Great Tusk is still really cool to see. And the Murko is a great support for the Mon, or great support for the team. It has Sunny Day, it has Tailwind, it has Haze. Really, really good Mon. It definitely fleshes out the team. It makes it so Torkoal doesn't have to do all the work in setting Sun for this squad. So it's a really, really cool team. What we're going to be doing right now is taking a look at all of the stats on all the Mons, fixing them. The first thing we want to do is take a look at a defensive type chart. And you can actually see this team's biggest weakness is that it has huge weaknesses to Ice and Fairy. And so this is why I kind of said that, like, doubling up on Great Tusk and Roaring Moon, two Mons that are big physical attackers that have the same weaknesses for the most part, probably not the best idea. If it were me, I would probably be cutting the Great Tusk. You can see it makes our defensive typing look a little bit more like this. Yes, we still have big weaknesses to Ice, but we want to add Mons that have good matchups against Ice and good matchup against Fairy. And there's one Mon in particular that I think really, really fits this role very, very well. It also helps check Flutter Mane. It's a great pivot for a lot of the Pokemon on this team, and that's going to be Scizor. I think Scizor is just an absolutely, absolutely amazing Mon here. Yes, we still have the 3 times weakness to Ice, but we have 2 things to switch on it now. We have a Mon with Bullet Punch that can one-shot them out. We can check other Flutter Manes with Scizor. There's so many Mons that Scizor checks in this meta, and we're actually going to give Scizor a really, really cool moveset that helps it deal with a lot of things that would give this team a lot of problems. So I think realistically, as cool as Great Tusk is, I would probably be cutting the Great Tusk for Scizor here, if I can spell it. So yeah, Scizor is going to be the check here. And the first thing we're doing, I'm going to take my controller, put it over there. Let's start taking a look at all the Mons and thinking about like what we want them to do, like their roles. So, like, this is our big special sweeper that goes for like Imprison Trick Rooms. I still think if you want to use Imprison Trick Room, that's absolutely fine. It's a great set. I think the Torkoal can be optimized slightly. It's our bit of our Trick Room Mon, but it also like activates our Sun for the rest of the team. So it's actually still really important to build this Torkoal the correct way, I think. Lilligant's a standard Sashmon. They have to respect Lilligant in the team preview. They have to respect your ability to go Lilligant Torkoal, going for these after use into big charcoal boosted, sun boosted eruptions. This after you makes Torkoal function at the same base speed as a chlorophyll +2 speed boosted Lilligant. So it's really, really important to still keep the Lilligant. Maybe we'll bring it 1 out of every 5 games. It's sometimes even a good mon to use in the back. What you can even do is like protect Lilligant, lead Torkoal, bringing a mon in the mid game or even after you lose your Torkoal, and you can still after you those mons like your Scizor or your Roaring Moon to make them function at the same base speed tier as your Lilligant at +2. So it's still actually really, really important. Lilligant's great. A lot of people also don't like playing against Sleep Powder, so Lilligant's still really, really good. Roaring Moon's really, really cool. I think it's your big physical attacker, so you got like your speed control / like Dozo matchup, you have your special attacker, you have your weather core, you have your physical attacker, and then the last thing is your pivot mon. So that's what the Scizor is going to be doing in this squad. And I think let's just start with Roaring Moon, and we'll go to the left and we'll go back to the right. We're going to change a bunch of how this Pokemon works. I do not think you need Jaw Lock. I don't really think you need Jaw Lock. And another thing here, I don't think you need Scale Shot. I think realistically what we're going to be doing in this Roaring Moon set is we're going to be making it a lot bulkier than you actually had it before. That's just how I would play this Pokemon, and I think Scale Shot is counterproductive to how this thing should be played. If you actually take a look at this guy, he has amazing base HP, great Spadef, and if you Terrorize it to a different defensive type, it can actually like really, really just wall people out. Great mon here. But I don't think you need Scale Shot. Yes, it gives a speed boost, but it costs a defense stat, and we're not going to be using the White Herb. So I think just realistically, if you want to keep a Dragon move, Dragon Claw is what I would keep. You can definitely keep the Acrobatics with the set that we're going to be using. And then as for like the rest of the set, does this guy get Roost? I would go Roost. I think Roost is going to be great for how we're going to be playing this guy. It's going to be a bit more of like a late game set. But what we're basically going to be doing with this guy is we're going to be taking out a lot of points in attack, keeping enough points in speed to still get a +1 speed boost from the photosynthesis, so we can outspeed threats like Flutter Mane, and then like we'll be able to use things like the Acrobatics to be able to OHKO the Flutter Mane after we get our booster energy and stuff like that. So it's actually going to be really, really cool. So now that we know that we're going to do that, we're going to change its EVs in a moment. Lilligant looks absolutely fine on paper. Torkoal is going to definitely be changed. I think Torkoal does not need to be like a charcoal set. I don't think it needs to be full special attack. I actually think Torkoal is best built on this sort of team as a humongous support mon. So like Torkoal, you want to protect. You don't actually need the eruption. Actually, I just realized that this Pokepace is different. The one that was sent to me had Earth Power over Solar Beam. Earth Power is better, but you still should maybe try and have it if you can. But I like the protect. I like Yawn. Yawn is the main reason like Torkoal works as a pair for like Flutter Mane and all these other mons. You want to be able to yawn those things. You want Torkoal to be able to be a sticky mon that sits on the board like as long as possible. The next thing, I really like Earth Power, and I really like just throw Heat Wave here. You don't really even need Eruption at this point, and we're going to take a lot of points out of Special Attack and make it a lot bulkier and give your Torkoal just a much, richer existence on the board than just like coming out and go for one big attack and then being done. Flutter Mane's fine. I think we might change maybe one thing, but I do like the Flutter Mane the way it is. And the Murkrow, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Life Orb Murkrow. Not Life Orb, Eviolite Murkrow. Like, I'm not a fan, but after playing these games, I played this team live, I really like this set, and I didn't think I was going to like it. So I actually don't mind this at all. The one thing, though, that you want to do is you want to put just a little bit in speed. Just a little bit. We can start working on our EVs now. You want to put just a little bit in speed so other Murkrows that are being built the same way, you outspeed them. So you can do that by taking out, I would say probably, let's see, what are we going to take out to do that? Because we don't want any points in attack either. We don't want to waste any points. I guess we don't have to do it because we don't want to waste points. Because basically, like, we were to take out 4 from this, right? And maybe let's go to 96. 96 doesn't get anything, but 92 does. And so there's nowhere that 4 would go. It's not like we're going to put the 4 up here. Because we actually don't want the attack, so we take less damage from Foul Play. So I guess this is fine. But yeah, Murkrow's great. You could go with the more aggressive Murkrow, though, that has like Sucker Punch and like Brave Bird. Brave Bird would be really, really good in this format for helping pin like other grass types, like Brute Bonnet and stuff like that. But I think this is a great set. I was actually really surprised by how well this played and how much damage it didn't take from stuff. So really, really good stuff. Let's go back to the Scizor. So Scizor gets the Technician ability, which makes all of its moves that are 60 base power or less have 1.5, including Struggle, which a lot of people don't know. The main move you want to use on this guy is going to be Bullet Punch. We're probably going to be using Bullet Punch. Probably going to be using U-Turn. And I don't know if we want Terrastalize on here. I really think Feint is an amazing option. And another good thing about Feint is people are going to be trying to learn this format. So they're going to be like very defensive and not really have their footing. So something like just going with like Feint with Scizor, you just Feint D-Gleam, just like delete their dragon type off the start of the game. Like, it's so good. Fate is absolutely amazing. Close Combat's another good option on Scizor. Terra Blast, another good option on Scizor. Definitely know that we're going to want the Protect here. So we don't necessarily have to do anything, you know, crazy with Scizor just yet, but just know that, like, these are the moves you're going to want to use. Bullet Punch is great for checking other Flutter Mains. U-Turn's good to pivot in your Torkoal or pivot out. Like, what you can even do is... you know, if you're playing against other weather teams, you can usually always lead Torkoal because Torkoal is the slowest weather setter in the game. So if I lead Torkoal and you lead like Pelipper or Tyranitar or Hippowdon or Abomasnow, you're going to set your weather, then I'm going to set my weather. I'm going to underspeed you, so my weather is the one that's active, which means if you lead with yours, you're basically losing. You're going to have to switch. I can abuse that. Go for Yawns, go for whatever I want. And if you didn't lead with it, you have to switch it in. So when I switch my Torkoal out for Scizor, and you switch in your Pelipper or your whatever have you, I'm already primed to reset my Torkoal right back out off of a U-turn pivot. So that's one of the reasons why, like, pivots are really, really, really good in Weather Cores. And I think Scizor is the perfect Pokemon that's going to really, really help this team out. But let's go back to fixing the rest of this guy, the rest of this team. I guess we should probably realize what we want to do with this Scizor. I like Citrus here, realistically. You know what we should put here? We should just put Tailwind here. I think Tailwind's here. You know, make so Murkrow doesn't have to do all the work. I think it's a mid-game, good Tailwind mon, good stuff. It doesn't really help with a Bullet Punch, but it helps, like, secure stuff so these two can actually win. You don't even have to be using Trick Room on this thing anymore, now that I think about it. It might be better off to go, like, something like an Icy Wind Protect set. So if you're really, really struggling with those sort of things, maybe you think about cutting the Imprison Trick Room, but I still would use Imprison Trick Room. Like, I like Imprison Trick Room. But yeah, you want to be able to weave in those Tailwinds with Scizor if you can every once in a while. Let's take a look at some of these EVs on Scizor. I definitely want to go max HP on Scizor, just because it has great defenses already. Its HP is its lowest stat, so you want to max that one out first. Scizor doesn't need full attack, though. Like, it really, really doesn't need full attack. But we want to actually take a look at in the damage calculators. Let's plug a Scizor in here. We want to see how much damage a -1 Scizor can do with Bullet Punch to Flutter Me to see if we can actually still get the KO. So we got to set everything up. Technician. And we'll go Adamant for now, and we'll plug in Bullet Punch. So Bullet Punch, that is to 50, and we'll go Flutter Mane over here. And so everyone wondering, like, how do you know that you should be EV training to beat Flutter Mane? Well, we just talked about it. That's the reason we added Scizor, because we had so much of a weakness to it from the type chart that we saw over here. We talked about Pokemon that use those type of moves, have those defensive types, and Scizor checks the Flutter Mane that has those things. So here we go. You can see it does a lot. Unintimidated, that's a lot of damage. And the standard Flutter Mane would be something just like a 252, 252. Maybe they would go like 4 here in HP or defense. So we already get the Oko, right? We already get the Oko. But now let's talk about what happens when we're intimidated, because we don't want to have to use like a clear amulet or something. So that is not an Oko. So how much would we even be able to get the KO? It looks like we can't even guarantee the KO with like full investment unless we wanted to use something like a Life Orb. And then even if we did use the Life Orb, like, we could take out like a lot of points in special or a lot of points in attack and still get it. So like a Life Orb 0 investment attack, like Life Orb is a huge boost. We can go an Expert Belt in that situation. I just want you guys to understand that, like, realistically, we're not going to be able to get the KO on this thing at all if we get intimidated. So it's something worth knowing. It's not worth clear amulating this guy. It's still definitely better off with a defensive item. Like a Citrus Berry, so we can actually get the Tailwinds up. But just know that you won't get the KO if you're intimidated. But if you're unintimidated, always have the KO. And let's see what if they have like a 252 HP set. So we'd like to KO this set. So like something, every once in a while, these Flutter Manes are going to pop up to have like heavy bulk. It'd be nice to be able to KO this. It's probably going to be about 100 points maybe. Yeah. So a little bit less. So 84 is going to be able to Oko a full HP, full special attack Flutter Mane. And I think it's worth having that around, because not only would you be able to KO that Flutter Mane, you're going to be able to KO other Pokemon that have like similar stat lines to this Flutter Mane that have those sort of weaknesses. So I think that's a fine EV spread to go with. And so you basically know how much you're dealing. If we go back to this Flutter Mane as well and take out all of those points in HP, and we go back and check what our -1 stat was, we might almost get a KO. We would KO one most of the time after they took like a Life Orb chip or some other form of chip as well. So that's also another really, really good thing to remember here. So I like that. We did have the Adamant nature on there. And then realistically, the rest of these points we're going to want to put in bulk. What we do want to do is put enough points in speed so we can outspeed threats like Sylveons who actually U-turn in their faces. So Sylveons usually run about 60 points in speed. So we're going to put 68. Just to outspeed Sylveons by like 1 more tier. This also doubles in Tailwind to outspeed most mons in the game. And then realistically, we have a decent amount of points left. I'm going to put heavy points in bulk. I'm going to go heavy bulk, so like 100 SPDF, because we want to pivot in on, remember, those ice attacks and those fairy attacks. Fairy attacks, those are usually going to be special attacks, so you want to put those mostly in special D. So this is a good nature for the Scizor, good EV spread, and it's going to work absolutely fine. So really, really, really good stuff here. As for the Roaring Moon, let's go back to the Flutter Mane and see what we can actually get done with Roaring Moon. So plug this guy in, make sure it's level 50. And I want to see what we can actually get done with this guy. Let's plug in Acrobatics and see how much investment we actually need. I think we can make the Acrobatics like a 110 as well, right? Because it doubles. Is that right? That has to be wrong. It has to already be calculating the Acrobatics the right way. So let's see. What would like a 110 stab? So it's 55. So 165. What's a similar, like realistically, we can just plug in like anything. Let's just plug in, let's just use this as an example and make like a 165 because that's the base power it would be. All right, so this would, we're using this as an example here, but this is the power that our, actually, yeah, that's the power that our stabbed Acrobatics would be doing to a Flutter Mane. That can't be right, though. Acrobatics is such a weird move, right? Because it's normally base 55 here, but it doubles in power if you've used your item. And I can't imagine that this is this strong. And we're just using a Cellrock as like a placeholder. So the way we get to 165 from 55 is it doubles into a 110, and then we get a stab boost of 50%. So half of 110 is 55. And then you add that to the 110 you already have, you get to 165. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but that means that like, oh wait, we don't stab it. So we have to go Flying Terra. I forgot this guy's not a flying type. So we would go Flying Terra there. And that would solve that. This would also take away our 4 times weakness. Not fairy, flying. And this should make this the same number, right? Oh, well, basically. It's basic. Actually, you actually, a lot of people don't know this. You do just a little bit more when like stabs involved than when stabs not involved. So you should usually try to use your stab moves. It's very, very slight. I think DeWobblefett has a post about it. But yeah, basically that just KOs even with like no investment at all. Let's talk about what happens when we're -1. A lot less damage, right? So what we're going to want to do here is we want this stat, the speed stat, to be higher than a Flutter Mane at +1. So let's plug in like a full Flutter Mane. Give it like a timid. So it's 205. We need to be faster than that. We actually want to outspeed Dragapult as well. Dragapult gets to 213. So realistically, we want to get to 214 off of a +1. So it's not actually that much speed investment at all. It's going to be probably like 60. We might actually need to put a little bit more because we actually need to... We don't want to put anything in attack. We want to put the most in bulk. So I guess that means we have to go get this all the way up to 160. I guess, actually, I want to... Maybe we can just go Jolly. 152. And then get this up to 160. Cool. So 52 points Jolly. I know it might seem like you're wasting points because you want to put your nature in your highest stat, which is 139. It's a lot higher, but like really... I don't think there's anything wrong with this. 52 points, right? 52 plus. So this is 160. And we take all these points out of here because we don't need them, right? And this is going to make it so we always get a photosynthesis boost to speed. Really, really important to get that boost to speed here. We can actually heavily invest in bulk now. And we can go... Maybe we don't want to go Flying Terra then. I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe I'm going like really, really hard for this Acrobatics tech. It's booster energy here. Gonna give us a speed boost. I mean, realistically, we have so many points to put in bulk. We don't want to get diminishing returns here. You get diminishing returns when your HP stats more than double your defensive stats. So like we'd be putting like probably we'd go up to like 209 maybe. And then we would make this like 105. Right? And then we'd put the rest in here. I guess we could actually put like 8 more in speed just to be a little bit safer for people that are doing very similar calcs as us. And we make this down to a 108 and go 4. So you see we still outspeed to get our photosynthesis boost to speed. But we have 160 base attack, which is, or not, we have a 139 base attack. It goes to 160, which is still strong, by the way. It's like, you see, it's still about as strong as Scizor, but like we in no way at all are like getting absolutely dumpstered. And Flying Terra is like not bad on this guy because this guy's weak against like fairy. It's weak against fighting, right? So we can mitigate a lot of that damage by doing something like this. I like this a lot. And then we're super bulky with like Roost. Roost makes us lose our flying typing, so we actually become null type. We don't have any type. We have no weaknesses. So it's a really, really unique situation when you lose your type like that. So I think that's like really, really cool. I think it's a fun thing to do. Boost energy, we're going to be really, really fast. We're going to be really, really bulky, and we're going to be strong enough to beat things. I just want to make sure that we can still Oko Pult with this. Dragapult's still a threat, and we do outspeed it. We might need to change the set to be able to Oko Dragapult with a Dragon Claw, because I don't know if we can. We'll have to take away the Flying Terra. Dragapult, level 50. Let's plug in a Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw. Bam. So that does not do it, but if we uncheck this box... Is that right? I guess, no, it would always do it. Yeah, so that's just not an Oko at all. And let's go to the flying one again, see how much that actually does. So we can't KO the Pult with, like, any of our moves. But, like, I think that's fine. I think it's fine. Oh, we still have the -1 calc, duh. Alright, we almost can KO Pult. We can KO Pult half the time. And I think that's fine. That's absolutely fine. If Pult took a Life Orb chip, it would go down. If we, like, Dazzling plus this, it would go down every time. So that works. And I think it's a really, really cool set. We have Roost, we have the Booster Energy, Dragon Claw, Acrobatics. Like, I like this set a lot. It's a lot better in my opinion. Yeah, a lot of fun. Moving Out was great. Torkoal, though, we need to change up a lot. Still want that full HP, but you do not need, like, nearly as much in special attack. I'm going to let you know, you only need 20 points with Earth Power to do half to their Torkoal and make it so they're just new to their eruptions. So, like, this is a really, really good Torkoal spread here. And then we're afforded the luxury of putting the rest of these points basically wherever we want. Remember, we have big weaknesses to Ice, and we have big weaknesses to Fairy. So, again, very similar to Scissor. We want to put a lot of these points into Special D. There's absolutely nothing wrong with going a 236 Special D Torkoal. And actually, you do still need to be modest in this situation. I know it sounds weird, but you still do. And just leaving the Torkoal like that. I also highly recommend going Torkoals with, like, speed, reduced nature, 0 speed. But on this team, I think we're probably better off with going, like, not that. I actually almost want to say you could even think about putting, like, 4 to 12 here to make sure you outspeed other Torkoals outside of Trick Room, because we're going to be trying to imprison those Trick Rooms. They shouldn't be getting Trick Room up. And so you want to be a bully at the start of the game. But I think you can actually leave these IVs in speed on Torkoals, so you can just be a bully. Every once in a while, these sort of teams pop up where Torkoals don't have 0 speed, speed reduced, and you just punish other Trick Room teams for trying to set Trick Room, and that's what we're going to be trying to do here. Flutter Mane's absolutely fine. I like the 4 in Sped Def, but realistically, it's better off in HP. So, actually, it's not better off in HP. You realistically actually take less damage from your Life Orb, and I actually liked Life Orb set. I didn't think I was going to like it. You take less damage from your Life Orb over time if you actually took 1 point out of HP, because this makes you take less damage every single time your Life Orb ticks. So that's actually smart to do it like that. And then, I guess, yeah, you can just keep the 4 here. So that's something that's kind of weird, but basically, because the Life Orb takes a 10th of your health, make it a 9 here, so you'll take 1 HP less every single time your Life Orb ticks. And the Murkrow's fine, so that is going to be the fixes that I've made. And let's go play some games on Showdown and see how the team does. Let's go play some games. Okay, here we go. Frostmoth. Huh. Alright, so we can outspeed basically everything here. This is Trick Room, so we can just imprison it. Yeah, I think we're going to go Flutter Mane, because you just get the imprison and you can't fake out. I absolutely love it. You can't go Final Gambit. You could even think about going Murkrow here, and I'm not opposed to Murkrow. Like, Foul Play melts that. And we could just Sunny Day. I don't see a problem with that. And then you just want to bring the Roaring Moon and the Scissor on the back. Scissor is great versus these guys. You can even think about leading Scissor if you wanted to, but I think we're fine here. So let's see the Glade. That's what we talked about. And the Slowking. So we can go for the big Imprison here. I don't think I'm not afraid. Yeah, I think you just go with the Imprison. And I think you just Foul Play the Glade. Realistically, if this was that full speed Murkrow set that I was talking about, you would just go for, what is it? You would just go for Brave Bird into it and it would go down. But let's just go for the Foul Play here. They might be like some sort of Scarf set. We're not that afraid of Glade. We could even technically Terra Dark if we wanted to, but I don't think you need to. Glade shouldn't be able to Oko our Flutter Mane. It really shouldn't be able to Oko it. There's the Imprison. X is our back slot. That's neutral damage, but you see how much damage it does right in the range for Dazzling Moon. Chilly Reception. It's okay. Remember how we talked about you don't really need to lead with your Weather Setters? Here's the Frostmoth. This is absolutely fine. They do have the Wide Guard up. So in this situation, I don't think we need to, like, it'd be nice to go for Dealing, but I think you just want to go for the Shadow Ball to get the Glade off the board and then repivot in Scizor to be able to bullet punch that guy out. Oh, that's so good going right in there. That's great. You can totally go for an Aurora Veil, but that's great damage for us. Let's see if they're actually using Blizzard. Fail. Cool. That's absolutely fine. Bullet Punch is going to do enough there. We definitely still do enough to the Slowking with a Shadow Ball, even with the Aurora Veil up. And we had to change the Terastallize on the Scizor, obviously. Sorry, I forgot about that. I think you can just U-turn into that slot then. That's a weird situation to be in. I'll go Deglim. I know it sounds weird, and just U-turn into the Slowking. I want to see what item is on the Frostmoth, because we know we're going to get that off. We don't have to Bullet Punch, and I wanted to see if they were Terra Fire. So we're going to come back with the Murkrow, and we're going to go for a Sunny Day probably. There's a Tailwind, or we're going to trade Tailwinds. Awesome. Great play from us. So trade Tailwind's really, really good. They still have the Glaive, but like we're absolutely fine. So we're going to go Tailwind, Shadow Ball, and we're trying to avoid Wide Guard here. Show me the Wide Guard. Show me the Wide Guard. Actually, is that Scarf Glade? There's the Wide Guard. Yo! Nice. There's the Wide Guard. We just play around it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, man. And so now you got Iron Bundle. Tailwind's up. Quark Drive. Special Attack. So we do outspeed it. This is where I'm going to pop the Sunny Day to stop Blizzards. I'm going to do that. Yeah, that's right. Ground type. Okay. And we get a speed boost on top of it. Great damage there. Blizzard, you can take that. Oh, man, they double hit the Blizzard in the sun. Oh, that's unlucky. That is unlucky for us. Never lucky us, but it's okay. Now we get Photosynthesis here. And we haven't Terastallized yet, so we still have big, big damage. And so we can probably get away with just Bullet. We can just nuke that slot, I think. But I don't think there's a problem with double protecting to wait out their Tailwind. I don't think there's a problem. Because also lets us wait out the potential last turn of their Veil. And then we know we'd be fine. So double protect here, easy peasy. There's the Wide Guard, okay, and a Blizzard, right? So they're going for big Blizzard energy. Awesome. So they still have the Royal up, so that means they were Light Clay on that Frostmoth. So in this situation, we definitely can. We don't have to Flying here. It means I think you can just do a Dragon Claw and like Bullet Punch into the Iron Bundle, just to make sure that we take it out. Bro, he's alive! That's so raw! Oh, that sucks. Like, Scizor's still in a great spot here. Ice will make us lose this guy. We take out the Iron Bundle. I cannot believe that thing ate that. Again, if we had Steel Terror, we would have done it, but it's okay. We take out the Iron Bundle. I don't think Frostmoth has any moves. Yeah, it doesn't have any moves that can check Scizor. We're absolutely fine. And we have the Citrus Berry as well. So we just wait out their Aurora Veil. Yeah, Icy Wind, they're going to take the Scoop. So I always forget to use Terastallize. It's always the last thing that I do here. But they're going to take the Scoop, and let's go fix our Terastallizes on this team. So Murkrow was Ghost Terra, which I think is good. This thing was Dark Terra, which was fine. Torkoal being Fire Terra, I'm not the biggest fan, but I realistically think a Grass Terra is a really, really good defensive Terra on Torkoal. Makes it so you don't take as much damage from like water attacks. But also, it makes it so they can't Spore your Torkoal with like Iron Ball and Munguses, so I like that. Lilligant, I think you need to be, what is it? You need to be Ghost Terra. You can even make your Torkoal Ghost Terra too to stop Fake Outs if you had to, but you want to be Ghost Terra with the Lilligant to avoid Fake Out. Roaring Wind, we have the Flying, and then Scizor. Scizor can be like so many different things. Water Terra Scizor's really good. I actually don't mind the Steel double dip on your Bullet Punches, so we'll just go Steel. We would have actually had that last game one if we had Steel. So let's go in another one and continue the sweep. Okay, that team's very similar to ours. They're going to be wanting to use our Torkoal to activate a lot of their stuff, so we're actually not going to use Torkoal if we can help it. And we're going to try and win with some other tech. We're going to definitely lead Scizor because it's good versus the Iron Bundle and the Flutter Mane. It tunnels them into Arcanine, which we can switch into like Roaring Moon to pivot. So I think something like Scizor Flutter Mane is very, very good. I think Roaring Moon as a pivot's very good. And then I think we need Murkrow as a Tailwind setter in the back. I think having a back Tailwind setter is really, really strong. You don't always need to lead with your Tailwind setters. And I think this can definitely be a win for us if we play it correctly. Scizor Flutter Mane, yeah, we should do a great job. Also, this keeps their Flutter Mane from just dumpstering our Flutter Mane as well. I think Scizor's a very, very underrated mon to bring here. It's good versus Iron Bundle. It's good versus a lot of those things. It's great versus Masquerada. It can two-shot Murkrow as well. So I think this is a good situation. And let's just start it up. I'll take a sip of my coffee. Arcanine would be a lame lead to see, but we would just pivot out, so we're fine. And we don't need to bring Torkoal. I don't think Torkoal's the right play, because they have too many mons that we'd be activating for them. And, you know, our stats are made to, like, perfectly be... Okay, they can Sunny Day for us, too. Like, we want to make them do it, basically. So, yeah, we'll just go Bullet Punch, Degleam. We should be able to get the KOs. We could Dark Terastallize if we really needed to. Nope. I don't think you have to yet. I don't think we're at that level. Because this Bullet Punch is going to Oko you unless you Terastallize. And, oh, protect, cool. Just go Tailwind. We could have just traded Tailwind there too, but like we always have the Bullet Punch, that's the thing. Are you sashed? Okay. Dude, what if we imprison that? That would have been so sick. Yeah, I'm just doing the same thing. I don't think we're in that much danger here. Brave Bird would do a lot. I don't think it KOs, and if you Brave Bird, you lose your Murkrow. And yeah, I don't think we need to switch or do anything weird. I guess we could switch in our Murkrow and just go Bullet Punch. Yeah, it's probably just a slightly safer play. There's the Ghost Terra. There it is. Yeah. Did we force the Terra? Mystical Fire is absolutely fine here. I don't think there's a problem with that. Foul Play does not do nearly as much. And now what we do is we just come out with... We can come out with this guy or this guy, but I think the Flutter Mane's going to be better. We have to win a Speed tie, but we don't actually because we're just going to Terastallize. Click the Decleam and then trade Tailwinds. And we have a longer Tailwind than them. So we're in a good spot here. And it's very uncommon to see Flutter Mane with Mystical Fire. You don't really see it that often. So the moveset's going to be Protect, Mystical Fire, Shadow Ball, and Decleam. And we potentially won the Speed tie anyway, so we're absolutely fine. Cool. So we're on down, but we have great board positions. This is their last turn of Tailwind. So we don't really need to do that much else. And let's see who's coming out. Masquerada, it's going to be Arcanine. Okay. And Roaring Moon, you already tear it, so we just go for the big Decleam. They're probably going to be protecting this guy right here and going for a big attack there. So we just go for the Decleam to seal it up and just a Foul Play into the Arcanine slot. This guy could be Sash, but I doubt it. They could E-Speed us, though. That would suck. Like, next turn, worry what's in that slot. Ow. Happens, it happens. It's not the end of the world. Look at that damage. Is it Citrus? Good play. Cool. We just bring in our Roaring Moon. We already know that we outspeed because we got the booster energy. And in this situation, I think you can just Dragon Claw into that guy over there. And go for, like... I think you Foul Play the Arcanine just to get it off the board. And then Murkrow can, like, Foul Play that last slot if it has to. But E-Speed does not do nearly as much at all. Big damage. Almost gets the KO, dude. Never lucky. So let's see what their move they're using here. Dragon Claw back. They get the KO. And so they're going to protect here. Oh, they're orbed. Cool. We win. Easy peasy. Easy peasy lemon squeeze. I was like, that was really weird. Like, I can't believe they actually ate that. But, you know, we take this all the way to the bank. It just goes to show, like, Roaring Moon is a really, really bulky mon. Even, like, uninvested like theirs was, like, it was still really, really bulky. So, yeah. We'll take okay, a little bit of rain. So, Pelipper. You can usually always lead Torkoal in that situation. I think Torkoal's, like, a pretty decent lead there. I think Torkoal Flutter Mane could potentially be good. We can also just lead Murkrow and just go for, like, a Sunny Day over it. I don't hate that. I'm going to try Murkrow and Flutter Mane, actually. I think it's, like, a pretty fun lead to use in that situation. We can definitely still bring the Torkoal. And I do like Scizor here. It's great versus Mimikyu. You can soak damage from Goldango, but I think we're going to bring the Roaring Moon instead because it's great versus like Torkoal. Sorry, it's great versus Tauros and Masquerada. So let's going to try the Roaring Moon here. Let's go. So we can go Sunny Day or Tailwind if they want to leave Pelipper. And the cool thing about this is Sunny Day is going to activate if they like. Let's say they wanted to switch in Pelipper, we can still Sunny Day right on top of it. It'd be so good. I really think there are. We can check that Masquerada with Roaring Moon very easily. So I don't think there's a problem with just Tailwinding to be able to outspeed both Scarf sets. And we can go for a Shadow Ball into the Goldango. I think the Goldango is more of a threat than the Masquerada is. It's just my opinion. Depends on if they want to play defensive or not, but I think we're in a good spot here. Dazzling will be able to check the Masquerada and do good damage to the Goldango, but we don't want to lose both of our monster, like Make It Rain and a Sash in the Masquerada set. So let's see what they want to do. There's the pivot into Tauros. Awesome. So we're making the right play and going after the Goldango. And they protect. Cool. This is also fine. I think this is actually still really, really fine. So now we just have a Tailwind up for free. Like, we absolutely, absolutely take those. So in this situation, I think we can probably just go for, like, a Foul Play in there and pivot in. We could pivot in the Torkoal if we wanted, because we know they're going to go after that slot with probably a Water attack. I guess we could technically, like, just Decleam there. I can't believe they were going to do that. That's raw. I'll do it. I don't think we actually need, we want to get the Goldango off the board. There's a Steel Terra. Awesome. Aqua Jet. Not going to be enough to do it. Great damage to the Tauros. Gets the Oko on Tauros. It's the power of the Life Orb. And this Foul Play is not going to do nearly as much because they're not the right type anymore, but this is a great trade for us. They're Steel Terra right now. We have a Torkoal ready, willing, and able in the back. And so I think that you do bring out the Torkoal here. I know it's going to seem really weird to bring out Torkoal here, but I think it's right. If they want to bring out Pelipper, remember, they'd activate, even if they have Pelipper in the back, I think we're still in a good spot. I actually think you just go for a Sunny Day here, in case they wanted to pivot in Pelipper. So go for the Sunny Day, and just go for a Heat Wave. So show me Pelipper switch in. Both these mons take huge damage if you want to, like, yeah, there it is. There it is. Protect. This is so fine. Heatwave's going to miss on Pelipper, right? Oh my gosh, that sucks because that's their sash. That's so frustrating. I played that so well. Oh well. You could have White Guard. That's fine. That's so frustrating. I played that really well. This is my last turn, Tailwind. We still have Roaring Moon in the back, and Roaring Moon can check the Pelipper and the Masquerada if we play it correctly. So they want to switch out the Pelipper, but they don't have anything to switch to. Yeah, this is absolutely fine with me. So Foul Play's going to break Sash there. Hydro Pump misses. That's absolutely fair because I missed a Heat Wave. Good damage on the Masquerada. There's the Sash. Can we get a burn? Oh, we get the burn! Yo, sometimes luck, karma, we take those. You can bring out that Goldango back, but like I still think we're gonna be fine. I think we just reapply Tailwind and go for Heat Wave. You're probably gonna protect Hydra, but like it just doesn't do enough. White Guard's fine. We have free Tailwind. You can make it rain into these guys. Get those stat drops all you want. The more stat drops you get, the easier it's gonna be to use Roaring Moon to be able to beat both these guys. And we could technically just Earth Power that guy, which I think is probably the right play. Or we could just yawn the Pelipper. Now you Earth Power the Goldango here. Definitely. Oh, good play. Good play, Protect. Decent damage on Pelipper. Citrus Pelipper, wow. Hydro. It's a decent amount. They might Shadow Ball here. Could Weave in a Protect. Oh, we still have the Charcoal. This is supposed to be leftovers. Well, now. This is going to Wide Guard and do something there. It's fine. We want this to go down. We want to actually use our items so we can use the booster energy. So we can actually make our... Cool. That's great. Good damage. Make it rain's fine. Torkoal holds. Can you miss a Hydro, please? You didn't even Wide Guard, bro. Yes. Let's go. Big damage. It doesn't need to get the KO. It doesn't need to get the KO. Because we just bring out this guy and win. I'm hoping they don't have Ice Beam. Hydro Pump, Wide Guard, like... Hoping that they don't have Ice Beam. We're going to keep our Dragon Dark typing. Just go for Acrobatics in that slot. And we're going to go for Yawn into Pelipper. In case they want to go Protect Ice Beam, they wouldn't get the KO. Protect, yep. Hurricane, ow. Oh, crit! Cool, and we should be fine. Yeah. Technically, it's right to protect the Torkoal. Because you don't want to burn it and have it not get put to sleep. But we take these. I think we're going to be able to take it. We should be able to take out the Goldango here, right? Oh, he's alive! Dude, that's actually really bad for me. It might lose us the game. Might lose us the game. Ow. Ow. Alright, we have to Roost. There's the sleep, though. So now we can just click Wide Guard. Or, Heat Wave, sorry. Go for the big Roost. And we haven't even Terastallized yet. Like, there's no reason to Terastallize. You know what I mean? You're probably going to make it rain to KO the Torkoal. You might KO the Torkoal. If we have leftovers on Torkoal, like, we definitely still have to have leftovers. So I forgot to change the item. You know, but we'd be so much value on this Torkoal set right now. But let's see what they want to do. We have this Roaring Moon set about as good as it's going to get. And this is where the Roost is, like, so valuable. I want to see if they pop a Protect there. Trying to wait for the Pelipper to wake back up. Big Roost. No Protect. Make it rain. Do you KO Torkoal or not? Never lucky. Alright, so in this situation, they're trying to, like, fish for wake-ups. They're going to weave in a... they're going to go for a Protect here. So we're going to actually try and get the Pelipper, like, off the board. Over the next 2 turns. Because Pelipper had to be asleep that turn. Protect. There it is. So now we can just go after that guy next turn if we have to. Big damage to Pelipper. 37%. I actually think it's the right play to go after the Pelipper. Cool. Only thing they have here is Crit Make It Rain to get out of it. And I think that there's a lower % chance of Crit Make It Rain. Oh, we lost. We got Crit Make It Rain. Thunderbolt. No, they just scooped. I saw it go to, like, skip to end. And I think they scoop, right? No. That was really weird. That was a weird mechanic. Anyways, Thunderbolt, the Goldango hidden tech. We should be fine here, though. Thunderbolt. Yep, not going to do it yet. 3%. All right, as long as you don't get crit. As long as you don't get crit or fully paralyzed, we got it. 9%. And we lose. What a game, boys. Thunderbolt Goldango. Unlucky. Unlucky. Okay. Eviolite Bisharp, Clodsire, Ceruledge, and what is that? Iron Valiant with the Brambleghast. So there's going to be some Tailwind shenanigans over there. We definitely just go Murkrow and try and roll those guys off the board. Can't really roll everything. We're going to open up like this. I want to try this to get us active early on the booster energy. And then I think Fluttermate's a great mon to bring in the mid game. With Torkoal being okay in this matchup, can Earth Power there, Earth Power there, Earth Power there. I think Torkoal's a good defensive pivot, and we don't really need Scizor in this matchup, so Torkoal's still good. There's that thing and that thing. So we could go for... Yeah, we just hit the crap out of the Iron Valiant, I think. So, oh, what is it? Acrobatics does get that KO, I think. We don't need to Tailwind just yet. So I'm actually going to do... We don't need a Tailwind like right now at all. We really don't. We can actually just save our Tailwind to be used a little bit later. We're just going to Foul Play here to break Sash. I'm actually going to double into this slot to break Sash. Because this guy would go first and then would leave the Murkrow up in case it didn't KO. Just like that. Just like that. It sucks that we get KO'd back. But there's a Tailwind trade and we go into this slot just to make sure that it goes down. You know, at least we targeted the right things. Torkoal's not that great here. But, like, think about what they're going to send out. I think you have to go... Flutter Mane. I don't want to, but you have to. That thing's going to do a lot of damage. I cannot believe how bulky that Iron Valiant was. Very, very bulky. So we just go for a Shadow Ball into that slot. And we'll trade Tailwinds and just Shadow Ball it. We should probably be Terastallizing here, realistically, to stop Shadow Sneak, but yeah, they didn't have it anyways. At this point, we're playing very, very greedy. Volt Switch in the Murkrow, cool. Like, Murkrow is kind of useless, so, like, I'm absolutely fine with that. And they come up with Bisharp, and we have Torkoal. So, it sucks we can't Protect, but we can Terastallize. So, we're just going to go Heat Wave plus Terastallize. Cool, we should be fine. Heat Wave plus Terastallize Decleam. Should be enough to not die here. Cool. Race to the finish, but we should be able to get this one. We both have Tailwinds up. We got the Photosynthesis speed boost. They can Sucker Punch Flutter Mane, but it wouldn't get the KO. Double dip the Dark Terra. Okay. Big damage still. That's so much. They lost their Steel Resist. They go for, they're going for Air Slash Punches. They're going for the big damage. Torkoal holds. This is why we use Heat Wave as opposed to Eruption. And we should be able to get this now because now like Bisharp can't fight both. Whew. Close game. You want to go for the Earth Power because it doesn't miss. Very, very fast and close game. But yeah, it's not going to get it. That does so much damage. That's reduced. That's crazy. So if you guys like this team and you like the changes I made, think about trying out the Pokepace. There's going to be a link to it in the description, as well as the new song that I made. Please go listen to the new song. It's only a couple minutes long. I've been working on making a brand new song every single month, and I've been doing it since like either August or September. So go listen to it. Go let me know what you think. Any saves or follows on the band page or any of that sort of stuff. There's links to Spotify, there's SoundCloud, there's Bandcamp, anything like that. They really, really help me out. So think about showing some support there. And if you guys have a team you guys want to submit, think about checking out Patreon. Think about checking out Patreon. Think about submitting the team. We're trying to do as many teams as possible. I'm doing 1 or 2 teams every single day. Joining the Patreon gets you access to these team fixings, gets you access to all the teams that I make that don't get put in YouTube videos, gets access to the Patreon tournaments, gets access to the Patreon tab of the Discord where people get help with their teams getting fixed and stuff like that. So if any of that stuff interests you, think about checking out all those different things linked in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out, and I'll see you guys next time.